Alright guys, we're back again. Today I got a homeowner to call us in a panic. Told us we have to be there ASAP before his wife gets home. I asked him exactly what is happening. He told me he dropped something down the drain. I told him I will be there ASAP because I know what's going to happen when she gets home. So once I get there, I see the conditions of the sink and I was like, wow, it's going to be a mission to get this out of here. So I start disconnecting the trap, and as you can see, it's a brass trap. I was lucky enough to be able to loosen the nuts to pull the trap out. So once I loosen it up, the guy standing over me is like, he's crossing his finger, he's praying, please, please, please be in there. I was like, don't worry, sir. If you didn't run the water, it should be in there. The minute I see it coming out of there, I'm relieved. Relieved, he's happy. So everybody's happy. For you guys, I'm not going to show you what it is because I'll run a little contest. The first one to comment below to tell us exactly what was down the drain, I'm going to send you a little something. If you're in the United States, I'll mail you something out. I'll email you. Well, you email me your information and we could go from there. So it's a little contest. Don't forget to see what it is and comment below. So I told the homeowner I could put the trap back on, or the trap is all rusted, galvanized pipe is all rusted. I could cut it out and put a PVC trap. That way, if this happens in the future, you don't have to call me and you could pull out the trap. He was like, you know what? That's a great idea. Put a PVC trap in there just in case this happens. I did tell him the pop-up is all leaking. You should have a normal pop-up in there. That way, it prevents any small item from falling in there. And at least you could cover the sink up. He's like, no, this whole bathroom needs to get demoed anyway. So just put the trap in there and call it a day. When I cut the galvanized, look how clogged this sink was. All right. I told him, sir, the drain is all clogged. Do you want me to snake it? He's like, no, 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 don't snake nothing. Just put it back together. I took it upon myself. I was like, you know what? Let me just take the little run the snake in there and just make a little 3/8 hole through the whole sludge. That way it could drain a little better instead of nothing. So I did this on the house. Just ran it a couple feet. It was probably 20 feet in there. Just ran it in there. That way you could have a little hole to drain some water in there. So once I ran it in there a couple times, because it was taking me a while to get in there, but it's snaked pretty good. The Milwaukee snake is pretty good. So I snaked it. Since it's galvanized, we got to convert from galvanized to PVC. I'm going to use a regular no-hub. Once I put an 1.5-inch NOPA in there, I start lining up the PVC trap. That way I can see everything lining up. I really wanted to change this pop-up. I actually went to my truck and to see if I had one to throw it on the house, because I can't sleep at night leaving things like this. It's all crooked. It's wobbly all over the place. It's not technically leaking, but it's all bent. Like the casting's all off. So you'll tell when I'm finished with my trap, the trap is going to be a little crooked compared to the tailpiece, because I couldn't line it up straight. So that's not my fault. We make it work how it is. Homeowner doesn't want to spend no more money, and he's scared that Karen's going to come over and find a plumber in there because he dropped something. So he's trying to push us out of there as quick as possible, and I'm trying to get out of there before Karen reaches me. So I start primering the trap, glue it. Yes, guys, I use purple primer. I'm just nice and clean with it. I don't like spilling primer all over the place, and I'm not one of those guys that like cheating using clear primer. So purple primer it is, and regular glue. So once we get that piece lined up, we put it into the no-hub. We line the trap up, and again, the pop-up assembly is killing me. It's all crooked, but I'm just gonna have to live with it. So anyhow, I grab the no-hub, line that up, and I get my 10-way 5/16 nut driver, start tying up that no-hub. I know what you guys are gonna say. You can't use a nut driver. You can't use an impact. You're supposed to use a torque wrench. I've been doing plumbing for 18 years, and I use a torque wrench one time. Other than that, it's always been a nut driver or the impact. If you're nice and easy and you know the feel of it, you should have no issues using a impact or a nut driver. So anyhow, once that's tight, put some pipe dope on the trap, and then we start tying that up. As you can see, this pop-up assembly is driving me nuts right now just looking at the video. But guys, try to ignore it. It's not my issue. It's not my problem. The trap is straight. It's just a pop-up coming down in an angle from the sink. Anyhow, once I line it up, screw everything together, and we start tightening up the big nut and then the little nut. I use channels to tighten everything up. First, hand tight, make sure nothing's cross-threaded, then use the channel locks. Comment below, see what you guys use to tighten up the nut traps. This sink was probably maybe 15 inches wide. The channel locks were hidden both sides of the vanity. You see in a few minutes that I'll go from the left, I go from the right. Let me know if you guys use a special tool to tighten these traps up, but every time there's a small sink, I'm always having issues with channels. I have small channels that open up wide. It's still a little pain to tighten these nuts up. So maybe there's a tool out there that I don't know of, and I'll be happy to purchase it and make my job a little easier in these instances. So that's all done. Homeowner's happy. Karen's not home yet, and I'm about done. All right. So if you live in North Jersey, need some plumber work done, residential or commercial, or if you need us to save you before your wife gets home, or vice versa, if your husband gets home, give us a call. See you on the next one. See ya.